Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I'm Vicorba, you can call me V, and today I am playing Windy Meadow. It has been too long, I've been ill, I've been busy, I've been pulled away from streaming, but we're finally coming back to finish this very interesting game. Hello and welcome to Annie and to Rowan. It is lovely to have you here today. And as Rowan says, it is heckin' windy time! Alright. Once again, the content warnings for this game are for things like mental health, self-harm, suicide, alcoholism, abuse. Like, there's, various things. It doesn't seem like it gets that heavy in the game, but, you know, be warned. Alright, so this is the village of Windy Meadow. We return. I'm not going to remember the specifics of everyone's names and voices, unfortunately. But I do remember roughly the story. We did the story first of a warrior daughter and her family, and how against her better judgment she helped her father set up a trap for some of the goblins, ape-like goblins that live in the forests, and accidentally set fire to a field and badly hurt someone who lived there. And then we followed the story of a young bard who is also disabled in a very ableist and inaccessible village, who doesn't feel like he's going to be able to live up to his potential as long as he's here, or unless he learns some grand stories. So we're gonna return to them. Annie says, "You don't remember the voices? How dare you?" Okay, I don't remember them either, but shush. Oh, how dare I? Ron says, "I don't know, the story where you start out watching your parents die and then let your legs get chopped off was pretty harsh." That was pretty violent. Yeah, that was pretty violent. I guess for violence, the content is pretty high up there. Alright. So, we continue. Alright, Fable, this is our disabled bard. He's wonderful. He's kind of wonderful. I have a lot of sympathy for him, but he doesn't seem to like people very much. But then the world he lives in is really awful to him, so... yes, we'll see. Auntie, are you there? Nalia! We're just, jumping right back in mid-scene. Sorry, everyone. I'm coming in! If it's even open. Thank the right. Alright, this is our aunt who is formerly a road warden. A plum tincture. This cat staring. Ooh. Wake up, Nalia, please, we've got to run. Huh? Come again? It's you. Are we going? Yes, to the inn. Get on your feet. Are we going to die? We may if you don't get up. Yeah, the village is being attacked by raiders, just like happened to Fable when he was a child, so things are wild. One can only dream. Alright, we have to get our injured aunt to the village. Oh gosh. So the stuff I'm about to carry here is too heavy for you. But before the eve, we could use you to pass messages, you know, like back in autumn. I may need a bit more precise instruction than that, to be honest. Oh, excuse us, we weren't exactly preparing to be slaughtered by the beast claws. Don't be so dramatic, you oaf. I'm just about properly annoyed. So you want me to hang around the square in the afternoon to help you and the others stay in touch? Got it. Okay, yeah, we're being attacked. Was it raiders or is it the Wrath of the Herds? It feels like the raiders, but I think it must have been triggered by the Wrath of the Herds and the fire we set as the other character. Primordial Nightmare, hello! Unless something urgent comes up. I'll prepare you a few meals for it, like always. I don't need a reward. We're in this together. No need to argue over scraps. You're right. I hope I didn't offend you. I guess I'm not fully here still. No matter what happens, things are gonna suck from now on. We may not have the forest garden any longer, but Windy Meadow still has a lot going for it. The inn, the rivers, the honey, and the wool still intact. Let's not argue right now. I don't envy you, Fable, this being the second time this happens to you. Wouldn't say that the bandits were the same thing. Okay, so it's definitely just the wrath of the herds right now. Matters little if it ends with collapse. Don't open up old wounds, Cal. We're here now, and that's what matters. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, would rather not dwell on it. No wonder. Forgive me, lad. No worries. Went through much worse. Should we just, like, right back in it? And it's been so long. I think we'll get kind of more in the swing as we go. There's a monkey on the roof of this temple. Look. It's a little monkey. So we're at the temple with our kind of priest-adopted father. Was I supposed to bring the cleaning tools with me? We ain't here to work. But since we don't have time to take our walks anymore, I was hoping to have a chat with you. In a cemetery? The dead take their wisdom with them, but we ought to find its remnants. Such as? I don't know, but folk enjoy these inspired aphorisms. They sure are flexible. Conveniently so, especially for a bard. You invited me for an extra lesson about stories? Anything can be a story. Kind of an empty phrase. True, but the fire has made me think about the stories we leave behind. If something were to happen to me, there'd be no one to take care of our rights. Lacerta would have to hire a priest from Beritus. From the United Church. Exactly. And they would have no reason to uphold our customs. Do you like Windy Meadow? It doesn't feel like Fable does like Windy Meadow. People are really awful to Fable here. Tula, hello! I gotta say it could be worse. I like some people here. I like some places. At least we don't struggle in the walls on our prison. Tula says frosty greetings from the north. Thank you, thank you. I guess that's something. You've experienced awful things. I'm glad it hasn't crushed your soul. Before the fire, we had 10 lucky years without major disasters, unless you count the trolls from last year. And the gargoyles 2 years prior. Almost forgot about them. Things in this world are so dangerous. You'd be free to leave this place, and I'll be happy to support you. But just in case you were to stay, I'd like to teach you how to uphold our customs. The parting rites, of course, are of the greatest importance, for they bring comfort to mourning souls. Did you just open an urn? Afraid of the ghosts? Don't worry, there's nothing scary inside. Unlike in Little Oak, we scatter our ashes in the woods. It's called an amphora, though it doesn't look like the ones you'd find in the old days. It's much smaller and of a different shape. No one in the countryside uses the real ones anymore. So, what's inside? Something that people like you and I are meant to protect. A piece of parchment. Read it. No hurry, we've got time. I've made a lot of progress, you know. I loved 3 things in life. Flowers, the moon, and flowers. Kind of like a poem? A farewell letter. Humble and elegant. Like most priests of the fellowships, I encourage our neighbours to keep their practices modest and contemplative. I remember the cemetery you showed me in the city. It had all these statues and trinkets carved in dragon bones. They had to hire guards to keep an eye on those treasures. That's right, the temple wardens. In the fellowships, we draw one's attention away from their wealth and status, and we don't place fancy tombstones. Instead, we suggest adding a message to their amphorae. Those who can't read ask their priests or friends for help. And if they die before they leave a message? Someone could dictate a note in their name, but more often than not, they ask a priest to write down something appropriate. It's not easy, summing up one's life on a scrap of parchment. So, what's your trick? I've got none. I just try to come up with something pretty, yet appropriate. No one can be described with a single poem. And yet, it brings some comfort. This illusion that they'll leave a mark on the world, that there's going to be a story that will make their absence easier to explain. At the very least, it's a beautiful tradition. And you want me to help them with writing these parchment pieces? One such parchment is called viaticum, the last meal for the road. Viaticum is the name of the world! It means the last meal for the road? Ooh, sorry, I like that. I'd like to start a few short journeys myself. Complete unfinished tasks. And truth be told, I'm getting old. I may not return. But if you were to stay in Windy Meadow, don't see my request as a call for you to stay. I'm only asking you to learn how to handle some of my responsibilities. Just in case. Alright, very well. If I stay in the village, I'll take care of the parting rites. You can count on me. I know I can. Thank you. Go ahead and prepare for your lessons. Better bring Nalia a few fruits. I will. See you later. I thought we were preparing for things to, go really badly. Well, this is such a strange little departure. Frandabot, hello! About Nalia, is it true she's been drinking more and more? If the monsters won't get her, the poison will. I don't believe we can just ask her to stop. It may be better for you to avoid this topic in front of her. We'll see what we can do once the goblin threat is over, all right? Frandabot said Fable not looking too hyped. No, never. Not Fable. I've got a couple apples in my backpack. I'm not hungry, but you go ahead. I don't know how long we can stay in this hut, so we'd better start our lesson right away. I guess a moment of relief won't hurt anyone? I could use a break from the outside world. Too many things are happening too quickly. Indeed, but worrying about the beasts won't help anyone now. Your tribe is doing well, preparing rather than bickering about whom they should blame. They've got some experience. There were the trolls not so long ago, and before that, I'm aware. Everyone here keeps bringing those events up as if they're at all unusual. Windy Meadow definitely could use more bards. Let's lower our voices a bit. My head is aching. I'm not gonna... I was told not to bring up the alcoholism right now. I think that's probably sensible. Sigh. But how are you doing? Are you afraid? I am. These may be the last few days my friends and I will ever see. I hate sitting like this with nothing to do. I trust their judgment. Vates has the discipline of a true road warden. Guards have kept the palisade in great shape. Latro and Vina have set enough traps to protect the outskirts, and I'm confident Lacerta has what it takes to keep the panic under control. The goblins may enter our streets or steal a few trinkets, but they won't find their vengeance. But we can't fight the dragons, or the werebears, or the horned lions. If we were to reach that point, Riot's dice would decide our fate. We'll either stay safe in the stronghold and then leave for good, or we'll get covered in the rubble. At least in this province, there aren't that many mole rats or trunk worms. Okay, so basically, if it's just goblins, we're gonna be okay. If it's the wrath of the herds and all of nature comes to destroy the village, then that's that. Okay. Wait, where's your sword? On its way to Beritus. It had been gathering dust for over a decade, and I sold it right before I learned I may still need it. But there's no point in judging my decision. Now that the world has changed, it was the right call. And I'm already used to such jokes of fate. Keeping my blade here like an old trinket, it was a waste. 2 days ago we read a story. Feels more like 10 days, doesn't it? Feels more like several weeks. It's been a while. I'm glad it hasn't been that long for you, Fable. I want us to get back to it. We're going to improve it. Excuse me? You need to learn which parts work for you the best. A bard isn't meant to simply repeat the stories of the past. You need to broaden them up, adjust them to your own needs. Take from this story only what you can use. The rest, either change or discard. We're going to make something new out of it. But I thought that bards are meant to memorize everything. The singing ones, sure, the rhyming and fixed structure helps them with that. But as a storyteller, you can change details on the spot, react to the crowd, shock them or move to a new topic. Unlike singers, you'll have freedom of voice, time, and gesture. Use it to your advantage. We were reading The Rise of the 10 Cities, though you didn't know its title back then. Which part of the story would you change first? It should stay true to its message. Wasn't its message, don't trust outsiders? I guess the ending is somewhat off. I would replace the dwarf. Oh, because it made outsider types bad. Yeah, I would replace the dwarf. I don't like the idea that the most cruel character was also the ugliest one. I'd rather make them look like regular folk. It's probably the right choice. Don't feel guilty about it. It may make the story better. Your honesty won't matter to the people asking you for tales. The best you can hope for is that you'll get paid well enough to reach another place and get more work. Once you leave, your ideas will either fade away or shift into new stories. That's the truth of it. What's the problem? I'm lost. Remember how I went to make candles? Not really. I tried my best to tell the others something interesting, but they weren't moved or annoyed or curious. They had nothing to say, as if we were gossiping at the inn. I don't know, didn't care. I bet they've forgotten about it already. And you're probably right. In my fantasies, people are crying, laughing, debating about my stories. But once I get a chance, I'm met with a polite shrug. Ah! Ouch! The wound. I'm being wounded. Your stories aren't to blame. They're decent. But a bard shouldn't just be a jar of tales. People want a performer. Yes, a complex, honest tale may change one's life, but you'll be lucky to earn yourself a loaf of bread with it. A dancer with a lute can spout out rhymes about cute girls for a drunken crowd and leave with a heavy purse as well as admiration. Will no one listen to what I have to say? Some will, but that's not the point. The real question is if you're ready to make enough compromises to live on what you want to do. So you want me to both stay true to who I am and be someone others want me to be? I hate it, that kind of like, that's just existing in the world. It's so frustrating. At least until you earn enough of a reputation to let you do your own thing. Use gestures to your advantage. Modulate your voice. Shout, gasp, cry, act, draw attention. Play your flute, improvise when things don't go your way. Offer honey both before and after the medicine. Others won't care about your message unless you earn it. What would you do if you were me? I trained in combat and was lucky and fierce enough to get rich and find myself a safe, comfortable home. I never strove to be an artist, so how can I give you advice? The bards of the southern tribes spend from 6 to 20 years memorizing poems, mastering music, juggling, and so on. Some of them are seen as priests or learn simple spells from their masters. I saw a few acrobats in the city. There's no way I can mimic them. Then don't. Find your own way to give others what they want. But if you think you can survive on your imagination alone, you need to squash your pride. Otherwise, stay true to yourself but pay the price. Find yourself some safe work. You don't have to be a bard to come up with new tales. I don't know what to do anymore. I only know what I want. Can we just practice writing for now? course, dear. I think I'll have a cup of yogurt. Do you want some? I bet you've heard that I used to be known as the Gargoyle Slayer. Want me to tell you the real story? We got the achievement, The Calling. Fable values honesty over renown. Yep, that did seem to be the case. Now, you do share the herbalist. This is the unpleasant herbalist apprentice, right? Now, I'm curious because... So these are the 3 that are here, and then there's one chapter that was locked that we haven't gotten to yet. But we've only seen 3 characters that we could be, so I think we're going to be this person now. Yes, as I do that, yeah. Alright, everybody, new story! 12 years ago. Oh no, is it going to be horribly violent? You're late. I'm preparing my sleeping herbs. Apologies. Yudi refused to leave the house. I'm surprised she kept her eyes closed all the way here. We sort of had to give her a cup of apple wine, just enough to make her fall asleep. I see. Come inside, let her rest in the warmth. Rowan says, no, another trauma! I mean, we know it, right? We followed what you said, but I've got no clue what's wrong with her. Is she... cursed? Don't be silly. Cursed by whom? The fairies? Better tell me what you've noticed. We gave her some dyed dough to play with, but she got bored with it. I don't know, like right away. She keeps using the same old toys over and over again. Is this Eudocia also autistic? Is our Eudocia from Road Warden our delightful, wonderful, we love her forever, sad autistic character? Is she kind of, because I know this game was actually made first and has been re-released. So is this character kind of the proto-character of the Eudocia that we liked so much in Road Warden? I'm sorry, I'm picking up on signs. She ignores other children and avoids looking in our eyes. She's so quiet. Yeah, she's autistic. Did she understand the old proverbs I'd mentioned? Not even after I explained them to her. Also, the thing you told me about moving her bed to another corner, she was fretful, cried, yelled at me. It all fits. I don't think Eudocia is slower than the other children, but she needs a special type of care. A lot of patience. I wish I could give her all the time she needs, but now with our flock gone... Have you thought about our talk, Salvia? And I agree to help you. I'll raise her as my pupil. I can't believe we're even asking. I thought we would all face all these struggles together, as a family. Got a condition? Pay Firma as much attention as she needs. She's a good kid, but ain't ready for this wound. The girls need to stay in touch. And if I ever hear that you serve her wine to make her fall asleep, I'm gonna smack you so hard you won't need to brush your teeth anymore. Now figure out what you're going to tell her once she wakes up. She ain't gonna like it. Okay. Too autistic to be raised by neurotypical parents, so raised by a witch instead? Oh my gosh. Alright, here's Eudocia. Good to see the balm working. Any issues with it? Nah. Your help's priceless. The wounds were light, but let Pudens rest for a few more days. Life's too short to spend it in bed. Better that than a pyre. One day with your balm on, and he was well enough to sweep the floors for me. He's a brave young man. Great. Doesn't mean you should play around with the griffins, boy. You almost gave a rat a heart attack falling into the river. Next time ask her which beast you can approach. Yeah, I hear you. Did you apologize to her? Sure. Good. So, Meadow, keep applying the balm for 3, maybe 4 more days. Come back if the pain doesn't fade away. Cheers, Yudusha. We're lucky to have you. Anything else? How's the go ahead. The wedding. All's well? Evolo is the one organising the wedding. At least it will take place here. Evolo's the one organising the wedding. Evolo's handling most things. Unlike him, I've got work to do. Yesterday he ordered a set of beeswax candles from us. Your big day would suit the city folk. I mean, if it makes him happy. At least it will take place here. As long as I can look out at green trees and meadows instead of grey pavement, I'm fine with Evolo's cravings. Are you tired of your garden after all these years? Love its serenity. Every year it's a bit different, yet mostly the same. I have a green dress. She's already wearing green. I love it. I'll have a green dress. Even gonna get a green dress. Argentia took my measurements to the tailor. You were so young, I bet you don't remember mine. Didn't last long anyway. It was light blue. You look lovely in it. You'll be so fancy. And you're so tall, you could play the Empress. You know, as an actress. Were the Emperors really that tall? Don't know. That's what Fable told me. I should go. Actually, I need to prepare a few things before I head out. Should join the field workers anyway. Once again, thank you. Yep, cheers. And say hello to Salvia for us. Have a nice day. Did Salvia get hurt / killed by the fire? I can't remember. It hasn't happened yet anyway, but... Almost forgot. Going to see your parents today. Want me to tell them anything? Oh. No, I don't. Oh. A basket from Mita. Puden heals well. Heard everything. Anything soft or moist? 2 breams. Fish soup? I'll prepare the herbs before you return. Bring water. You don't let that boy walk all over you. Good. Don't like children. Just sharing what I see. You're good with them. Didn't ask. Is it so late already? Bring a yellow onion for the soup if there are any left. Sure. No, just the spot. Greetings. Right on time. Are you ready? Are you ready for another walk? You'll get blisters from all this walking. You sure you're ready? By your side, a long journey is but a stroll. Tell that to those twigs that you call your legs. What can I do? I've got no one to prepare me so much as a hearty dinner. That won't change even after we move in together. Some exercise outdoors may help you, though. I'm ready to start right away. Annie says I like her already. Me too. Me too. Want me to do anything? I'm fine. Need to act with care. You know how precise my fingers are. And gentle. It's more about technique than anything. I could teach you how to handle mushrooms, but right now I need them to keep their spores inside. I thought you were supposed to let them spread around, make them grow. Our garden can't protect itself. These mushrooms would ruin the soil if they were to get out of hand. So they're like walnut trees. Who taught you that? Well, spice traders. You learn these things standing behind the counter. One day you hear a lengthy description of how to scratch cats, another how to load a ballista. Oh, a lengthy description of how to scratch cats? That's something I would say. I have definitely lectured people on how to pet cats. Must be exhausting. Talking with people? That was the best part of the job. The only good part, actually. But how did you know whom to trust? Gossip and nonsense spread fast, and folks cling on to the decades-old spells, no matter if they work or not. Annie says people need a lecture on that? Oh, you're gonna get me started. I'll just say some people just, like, tickle cats. And you can see the cats are annoyed by it. And I don't know why this is such a widespread thing that people don't know how to pet cats. But a lot of people don't, even people who are raised with them. Don't tickle cats. Rowan says correct cat petting is a very important skill. I agree! And if you pay attention to cats, they will tell you how they want to be pet. Anyway, I'm moving on. I sought other voices. Most clients had no reason to lie to me. I wouldn't offer my trust to others so easily. It's hard to build bridges without talking to others. I like people, that's all. And I like some of them. I was hoping you could use a bit of a stronger word. We went over this already. You're one of my best friends. I simply can't. Oh. You're one of my best friends. You're one of my best friends, second only to Victus. You make me feel as though things are going in the right direction. That's all I know, and all I can give you. You're right. I don't know why I'm so vain. To me, your friendship is the greatest gift. But I need you to help me with the wedding a bit. We should decide what to do about your parents. Ooh. Yeah, if you mouse over parents for your description, it just says why. Stop. She can't think about them. Annie says tickle cat. Now I'm more confused than before. You will know it when you see it. They just kind of like take two fingers and gently tickle above their heads, and the cats are like, what's happening? This is weird. A gentle cat won't scratch you. They'll just be confused. A less gentle cat will get annoyed and scratch. And then people are like, oh, cats are mean. I tickled them and then they bit me. Oh no. You've had time to think this through. You may regret pushing them away. Holding family together is difficult for all of us, but... Not this face again. You know I'll support your decision, whatever it may be. Old Salvia can fulfill your parents' duties during the wedding. We don't have to invite them. Don't call her that, and give me just a few more days. I don't want to make this call for you, but soon I'll have no other choice. Let's talk about this later. Annie says, thanks for losing me even more faith in humanity. Annie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to tell you about the cat ticklers. If we are to share our path, remember that your actions affect me as well. Stop pushing me. On our path, you've got to accept me the way I am. I need time to think these things through. I can't fix my heart with a potion. I'm sorry. I want to be patient, but I can't be the only one who looks for compromises. Are you mad at me? No, I'm not. Why do you ask? Hard to tell. I can read Salvia's face well, but for others, I need time to learn. Can I hug you? Of course. Of course. You've got as much time as you need. All the time in the world. Life doesn't wait for anyone. No, but I do. Thank you. This is kind of lovely. Now, if you don't mind... Back to herbs. Need to forage for a bit before I head home. Lead the way, my lovely witch. They're just kind of cooking chopping in the rain. Ron says, I'm glad you let him have a hug. They seem... I mean, they're getting married and they're best friends. And it seemed like it made Yudusha happy. I'm not anti-hug. I hug Joe and Merlin quite a bit. I occasionally hug siblings. I love asking for permission. In stories like this, and also if it's someone who's close, it's all a little bit different. It's not like in those games we've gone through where people were just touching people without their consent. I hated that. Calmly, hello! Calmly says, I come in to hug consent. Love it. Yes! It was lovely. It was a great moment. I think I have to click. Oh, I did. One evening, just like this one, my teacher tried... Huh? Again? Was just saying... Was this time when my teacher tried to cook 2 batches of fish soup at once, for our farmers were too busy setting up the new wall. Ends with you spilling them both all over the floor, I remember. And how about the day I opened the cage? Of the duck your neighbours brought you for dinner? I know. Too bad we can't buy a few more stories in the market. And since when have we got dragons for such luxuries? I'm not complaining. If I were to seek more noise in my life, I'd spend an evening in Tasty Claw. There's more than noise to find there. A few mugs shared with your neighbours wouldn't harm you. I'll see them on my walk through the village. Ain't a little girl. Know how to make friends. Got Victus if I need a shoulder to cry on. To heal folks, you need to gain their trust or they'll lie to you. From embarrassment, if nothing else. You don't need to work for their trust. You hardly ever leave the house, yet everyone trusts you. You know that ain't true. Some folk won't see me unless they're desperate. And the trust took time. You can't imagine how much of it. Been healing them for 3 generations, practiced with the 4th one still around. Teferax, hello! Annie says, no consent hug is a big no-go. Don't touch me if I haven't explicitly said I'm okay with that. Yes. Calmly says, I got touched 2 days ago without being asked and I hated it. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish folk would ask for little things. Yeah. Tefrax says, hope you're all doing well this week. I'm doing well this week. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Let's see. Let it carry on. Back to my point. The tribesfolk gain ashamed as I examine their wounds, pimples, crotches, and the dirt in their hair. Earned their trust, or at least honesty. I don't need to seek their friendship. Exactly what I want. Can't stand hearing about their burned dinners, discords, and the uncles from the other side of the hills. Be smarter. The things they share may be of great importance. Gossip helps us understand their illnesses. But more importantly, you don't want them to see you as a stranger. And why is that? You ain't old. Not yet. Doing my best to get there. Listen to what folks say when an herbalist my age locks themselves in a cabin. She's lived so close to the trees that she needs no human tongue. She's seen it all, her days seek naught. The simpler answers escape them, that my back aches, that my legs are weak. But you're suspicious to them. Dangerous, some would say. Weird, at best. They ain't wrong. Ask Temnis and Relega. Teferax says, having a pleasantly quiet day. Oh, I'm happy to hear it. You look so annoyed. I completely get it. You're greater than the hurt you carry. But stay tethered to your post and the anger will control you, even after you have come to regret it. I'll find the right balance. Can handle my feelings. If anything, I tend to keep them too dormant. There are ways to let them out without hurting those around you. You'll find them. But first you need to acknowledge your own rage. I don't bother anyone. If the others leave me alone, I'll be the best herbalist they can hope for. Got the right to stay on my own path. People don't work like that, Yudusha. You need to meet them halfway. Let's focus on the soup. Ugh. Rowan says weird is good. Agreed! This is all very real. Day 2. And be sure to look in the well. Might have been just a dream, but let's not risk it. I'll do my best. Try to clean up a bit. Just me and the clouds. Well, it's lovely. Just looking up through the canopy. A little slice of peace. Griffin! A griffin! Well, good morning, Yudi. You could be a farmer waking up this early. It's Yudusha. Probably. Oh, man. Sorry. This was me my whole life. Probably. Hello. Well, I could look after the chickens. You say that now, but wait until I get scared by a marten. Then it's nothing but combing the tree crowns for them all morning. I'd rather get me some pigeons. They hardly need any work. But every time we tried to keep them, they flew back to the hills. Whoa! Griffin sounds! Say, how's your mom doing? Should I see her? Nah, she won't let you. She sleeps all day long. Whenever she's awake, she either sobs or shouts. Once we bring her some water and mashed apples, she stares at the ceiling until she passes out. And her medicine. Oh, you know how it is. A few drops here, a few there. It's so bitter. She says we're poisoning her. I don't know how to calm her down anymore. Her lungs won't get any stronger. She may need your honesty. Come on, girl. I can't be that cruel. Truth may help you both find peace. Mom has always been brave, you know? Of course. She's a hero. She escaped beasts, bandits, and tax collectors. What do you... Her shell may still win. Just one more time. You need to have an honest conversation with her. Don't suffocate her with hope. Speak with your mom heart to heart, like Salvia's told you. You still have time to discuss what's coming next. The best our balms and powders can do is reduce her pain. And they're at your disposal, of course. Thank you, Yudi. Well, time to go. Stay strong, Arata. You as well. You as well. Hey, anyone inside? Guess I'm alone. Still no wasps, but the raccoons keep peeing everywhere. Should talk with Lacerta about this spot. Has no human scent. Sooner or later a bear will move in. Why do you even keep this place around? Arata's kids are in the city. She's got enough space and rooms for our guards and hunters. And I'll also have a room to spare once Salvia... We still have time. Should keep the shelter around, maybe for a year or two. How many centuries need to pass before the tribes figure out a recipe for fish that would do well with cider? I'm sick of matching it with beer. And how many centuries before you learn to remove every fish bone from me? Trying to kill me, lizard head? Don't be a crybaby. Rowan says I like the griffin just hanging out. Same. Open! Good day to you two. Feasting on the regular, I see. But am I catching a whiff of malt? Wanna join us? We're celebrating. What's the occasion? Our anniversary! Just take a look at these new fish hooks, real beauties. It's nothing. Back in my day, all we needed was a pile of sharp sticks. I bet Vina could still remind you how to hunt without a set of fancy rods and nets. Tell me if you feel any pain. I'd recommend avoiding the old fishing methods for someone who's missing a limb. Just an herbalist's opinion. He's just an oaf, always chipping in, blabbering about things he knows nothing about. Nuh-uh. At least the wooden leg keeps you safe from the leeches. Even in the old days, I wouldn't fish with just a pointed stick. You'd need allies, and you'd throw half your catch to saurians as a bargain. I'll take the new methods any day. Doesn't hurt at all, thank you, darling. Say thanks to Salvia, this one's on her. Yeah, we should visit her. I've just been so busy the last few days. Folk open their sheds and find all these broken tools. Can't you go to her without me asking? I'm just gonna say please do. She'd appreciate it. Maybe you need something from the smithy? Doubt you've got enough iron to spare for a new ladle. Maybe not, but I could make one from wooden shells. Now, want to join us? The air's fresh, the beer cold. Another time. Got the entire tribe to look after. Rowan says Eudusha has such a nice little smile. Yeah, she's great. I already love her so much. Suit yourself. To me, moments like these are worth more than a sack of dragon bones. For a sack of dragons, I'd totally ditch you. You wouldn't know what to spend it on. Oh, those two. Is there anything else we can try? I'll get you any ingredient you need, even from the darkest woods. We've tried everything that's in our power. I'm so sorry. You want me to leave her like this, in eternal sleep? We can't allow it. Her shell grows weaker by the day. We're lucky Inmira still swallows water and food. Once the bed sores appear, she's gonna wither in pain. So this is Vima's brother, who ends up going to the city to get help for his daughter. And Victus is also Eudushia's best friend. Is there anything I can do? Don't you have a secret magic potion or a powder touched by the spirits? I'll pay you no matter how much you want. I wish there was. Look at me, talking nonsense. The last thing I can think of is to take her to the city. Not that many herbalists there, but there are scholars, alchemists, mages. They'll ask you for a pile of dragons. Ivolo, he offered to lend me as many bones as I need. I'll worry about that later. He feels safe with you around. You deserve his help. We paid those healers to help Mum, and they left us with a lighter purse and nothing else. Can any even endure such a journey? You know I can't promise you that, but no mage would waste their time travelling here. They'll stay behind their stone walls unless someone drags them out of there. I've also heard those rumours. Something about goblins approaching the village. You know anything about this? Goblins? Dad found the paw prints. If they were to attack the village, my sword could save lives. Don't be dramatic. Some big apes won't threaten our tribe. For now, focus on your own problems. You're right. I should speak with Vates and Avolo, and my family too. They'll help me decide what to do next. Great. If they have any questions about Innie, tell them to speak with Salvia. One more thing. You ain't gonna agree to this, but I still need to ask you. You freeze, thinking about being torn away from your home, about the endless disasters it would cause, a rock slide of threats. Losing your hut, woods, rituals, and familiar faces, your last moments of comfort, of breath. You know I don't travel. Frandabot says, Eudusha is surprisingly chatty for someone who says they hate conversations. A lot of us are. Also, this is a conversation with, like, her best friend about his dying daughter, so that's not exactly small talk. You know I don't travel. You know I don't travel. My hands shake whenever I think about leaving our home. I was just hoping that... Forget it. You're my friend, but you can't change your nature. Glad you asked. Maybe someone else would be willing to join you. You're strong, Victus. You can do this. I simply have no time to despair. All I can do is put trust in the right. Alia in the village before dusk. Kitty in the tree! Yet still talks to no one, keeps her distance. I mean, she did ask me not to bother her, too. She asked you not to bother her. I'm still responsible for her health. No, we're responsible for her health. Good day, Nalia. I'm sorry. Oh, greetings, herbalist. Need any help? Medicine and such, I'll pass. Maybe with your cat? I'm not sure. Kind of just sitting there. It doesn't even cry. It's been 2 hours already. What's the cat's name? Does it have a name? Not really. Kind of a waste of time naming a pet that lives so close to the woods. So many gluttons here and foxes. And badgers. Badgers are slow. It's a pretty short tree. Calmly says, I can handle conversations about death, but not small talk. It's the worst. Absolutely, absolutely. The tree's short, though. The cat can just jump down. It's afraid of the cobblestones. It's used to the views of the forest and having the lower branches to support it. Makes sense. Human hands carve rather unusual landscapes. Yet we can't outdo nature. Trust me, the things I've seen. But that's a long story. We could ask someone for help. Plenty of strong arms around here and ladders. We could take it out of the tree. I'd rather give it some space. What for? Call it building trust. I'll let it ask me for help first. Got the patience for it? At this point, I'm past patience. I'm going to out-stubborn it. You attached to it? It seems like it. But you have grown attached to it. No doubt about it. Still, no name? Names are inventions, like words. It's not like a cat could understand them. You sure about that? No. If you need my help, just ask. Are you sure I can't do anything for you? Well, do you know anything about cats? It started peeing around the house. Rowan says, cats know their names. Absolutely they know their names. Merlin can do tricks! And he's 14! Almost 14. He's 13. Tefrax says cats are remarkably smart. Absolutely they are. This and that. Could grab some gloves and have a look tomorrow. I'd speak with Arata too. She's our beastmaster. Thank you. I'll see you around. Yep. Calmly says, I've not come across any evidence of the cats that live with us knowing names. Oh, really? Merlin definitely knows his name. Even if you're not talking to him, if people are just talking about him, he smiles and purrs at whoever says his name. One quacky boy, hello! One quacky boy says cats will learn their names only so they can disregard you when you call them by it. That has not been my experience with my cat, but all cats are different. Tefrex says I got distracted because Poppy asked to play the shell game. Yay! The shell game! I'm trying to teach her the difference between the different coloured cups I use. Ooh! I've been watching some wonderful videos of trying to teach a parrot to recognize and name colours. And obviously parrots are very, very different to cats, but I'm also like, these are not bad training methods. Maybe I could try. Alright. And now I feel 10 years older. Thanks, cat. Rowan says, most cats don't come when you call their name, but they recognize it. They just react differently from dogs and it's less obvious. Yes. You'll often see them respond. Their ears will perk, they'll look towards you. Merlin just comes, though. Any news? It's Stabulous! The man with the stupidest name in the world. Or the most ridiculous name. Hi. What about that goblin thing? Better speak with the hunters. I will. What do you have for me? Victus is thinking about leaving this for the city within Mira. Someone may want to join them. Him leaving? Sucks. I'm sorry, Yadusha. Yeah, thanks. All good with you? All good, all good. Just need some time to think, is all. One quacky boy says maybe Merlin's an undercover dog? Nah, he's a very normal cat. All my family cats come when called, even the ones that aren't very friendly. Conway says at least he gets to the point quickly. Stabulous? What about this one? It looks similar, but it's poisonous. The colour and shape are right, but the cap needs to be round. Well, this time I only made 2 mistakes. Good job. Soon I'll be ready to put my finds in the stew without your help. I don't mind teaching you. Teaching others is part of my job. Just spread some knowledge on your own, make my life easier. It may not be easy to sprinkle the mushroom hunting lessons on top of my sermons, but I'll do my best. There's monkeys still on the temple again, look. Truth be told, the mushrooms are just step 1. I wanted to move on to the berries next once they show up on the shrubs. Can't you just bring them to our hut like all the others, or pick them only from the plants the foragers look after? I guess it won't be much of a secret for Nat for long now, so I'm considering leaving, at least for a year. And since I no longer have a goat beast to ride on, I'd rather take an example from the wayfarers. Hoping to fill your stomach with berries and mushrooms? Good luck with that. Better safe than sorry. I only know the local plants, and a year sounds like a long journey. I hope to learn some patterns from you. I won't memorize all the berries, but I could figure out which types to avoid. Fine. Why leave? Why leave it all? Roads are rough. Hard to explain. Let me see. There's this one village in the far west. It used to mean a lot to me. But for more than a year now, it's been weirdly quiet. No news, no merchants. And on my way there, I want to visit a few other spots I used to protect, see how they've changed. Let's call this one last patrol before the autumn of my life catches up with me. So you've got a death wish. Like the tablets say, her regret was what she chose, not what fell upon her. I'm trying to figure out how I feel. If I'd rather risk my remaining years completing abandoned duties, making things right, or staying here, but swallowing the bitter truth about myself. But what this truth is, I'm not sure. That you've changed? That you've changed? Maybe it's really that simple, huh? But speaking of soul-searching, you mentioned that Victus needs to talk with me, and I'll go to him soon, of course, but since you two are like siblings, how do you feel? I can't ask him to stay. I can't ask him to stay. Not good. But can't ask Victus to stay. Right now he needs my help, not the other way around. Let's not lose hope. No sermons, please. Not because of the right's promises, but because Victus has a strong soul and is shell trained in combat. Because he's healthy, has a family and friends. Because it's still early spring. You want me to draw hope from my wits? Since you don't pray, why not try this way? My eye's playing tricks on me. The young witch has left her eye out. I've got 2 things to discuss. Shoot. My neighbours will offer you a decent meal for a cart full of leftover branches. We need them for fire. We're lacking decent logs. We can only spare the twigs. Thought you were supplying Stabulus. He asked us first. Huh. Next question, then. When will you set off? We've got an important delivery. Oh, tell us more. Victus and his daughter. Oh, I thought you meant like a letter. So I misspoke. Could you leave tomorrow? We're waiting for a caravan to pick us up. The guild will send a few empty wagons and a full squad of guards, and we're already behind schedule. You could pay us, I guess, for mercenary work, but we'll split the coin with our bosses, so he won't be cheap. Discuss the price with Avolo. Shouldn't we go to Victus? Victus is busy. Victus has other problems to deal with. Please go to Avolo first. Very well. Cheers. Won't bother you any longer. No problem. Hey, shit. Seems like we'll miss your big day. We'll save you a bottle of mead. Too bad I won't get to see you in a wedding dress, though. I bet you can't wait till the ceremony, huh? You try to ignore their strange gaze, the flickering flames, the loud creatures of the night, the long walk home that's still ahead of you. Despite the cold night, sweat is gathering on your forehead. All you want is to get away, to leave the weight of this long day behind. Wait, there's like a kitty sleeping on the chimney. Everyone, there's a kitty on the chimney. I just need to tell you that. I don't know, or I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. Must go. Good night. Sure. Bye. The loony Yudi, right? Oh, and they're all laughing. No! That's not loony. Annie says this hard conversation and then suddenly screeching. Oh, there's a kitty. That's just me. People who play competitive games with me, like when I'm playing Fortnite with my friends and stuff like that, have to deal with the fact that in between like making call outs and things like that, I'll just start like talking to Merlin. Just constantly. And there's not really any like pause in between. Anyway. How are you, Yudi? So this is Yudi's sister. So now you're saying it just to annoy me. Great. Have you considered that your name's kind of long? So what's next? You'll call Lacerta Lacey or Argentia Argy? Maybe Lazy and Arguey? Sigh. I'm drinking the herbs you gave me. The tisane. Can see it's been working. Yep, no acne. Remember to stay away from milk, but give some hard cheese a try. I've been missing it so much I'd drink it anyway, pustules or no pustules, and I'd lie to you about it. Your skin wouldn't outsmart anyone. How are you holding up? Could be better. Wish I spent more time with Victus this spring. This may be the last day I ever see him. Well, who knows if we'll make it till summer anyway, with those goblins around. The spirits are testing our patience. Or the right. Sure. Don't know Victus all that well, but even I'm sad to see him leaving. You'd like him. Everyone does. I guess. Some people are unhateable. Look who's talking. Last time that, what's-his-face, Arada's son visited Windy Meadow, he kept asking me about you. Once I mentioned that you work late hours, he looked at me as if I had broken his toy. Oh, Elan. I used to go out with him. First time I'm hearing about this. Good. He and I share some secrets. Huh? You know, shared enjoyment. This is awful. I don't like this conversation. Come on now. Shag. Oh. Oh, I see. He's married now, so keep that between us. Keeping secrets is the foundation of my job. I know. And have you and Ivolo? Don't even finish. But have you? How was it? Oh god, this is hell. What are you, 12? And what's the point of asking if you're going to assume that we have? Who else will talk with you about this? I don't need to open up. There's not much to say. There's not much to say. There ain't much to talk about. We had fun, he was cute and clean, that's all. It takes time to open up to each other and learn how to have fun together. Tell that to all the spouses who asked Salvia if eating salmon would help them reignite their beds. Oh. Your friends are coming. Greetings, witch. We're sorry to interrupt. Duty calls. I'm ready to go. What's your plan, or is it a secret? Have no fear. Latro and Vina will set up a trap in the forest garden. We're heading there right now to have a look around. Guess I won't have a chance to forage anytime soon. At least not without an escort. Can't say I approve of you staying at the hut. Maybe try moving your master to the stronghold. Knights may get violent. Can't even convince her to cut down on the herbs she puts in her pipe. Her routine is sacred. Now let's hope those furry dimwits stay away from her. So, bye, oh wise witch. Want me to say anything to Mom and Dad? Oh. No, thank you. Thank you, but can't think of anything. Sure, see you soon. Oh. A little too relatable. Question. Listening. You saw what happens to a village that falls to the wrath of the herds. Not really a question, is it? Tell me about it. Afraid of the goblins? Our neighbours are in danger. Don't want to see the others get hurt. It's their call. They want to provoke the goblin tribe instead of waiting. They'll face the consequences of their judgment. But then it's you and me who will be tasked with patching them up. We're those parents who try to stop two bullies from jumping at each other's throats. Wait for her to speak. Those memories are now lost to the fog. I remember the days of hunger, angry looks, people crying after our caravan was robbed by bandits, and our guards taken away by slave hunters. We lost so much, was sure I'd leave my home for good and seek work in the city. But our elders decided to clear a chunk of the woods, secure a new pasture, risk it all. The beast showed up before the last tree had hit the ground. The runners and dragonlings hit the clearing and the fields, tearing our youth to pieces. The unicorn-led apes, bears, and boars breaking through our wall with a single strike of its massive head, right into the elders and children. Oh, hi, Joe! It's Joe! Everyone say hello to Joe, who is my partner. Thank you, Joe. The stream is going well. No one tried to fight them, yet no one escaped. The roads were overwhelmed by saurians. I was lucky, if that's the right word. Calmly says, oh no, it's Joe. That's the exact correct response. Me and my two cousins were spearfishing in the pond, at the edge of our forest garden. There was no smoke, but the shouts reached us, climbed the trees to watch the carnage, and left right away. We couldn't do anything. But the path to Beritus was far from safe. A huge, a shoebill just walked by or something. Look at that bird! Oh! Sorry, everyone, there was a huge bird! It looked exactly like, I think they're called shoebills. The huge, grey, really tall birds with the really broad beaks. Oh, I love shoebills. But the path to Beritus was far from safe. We were shown a healthy dose of mercy, but couldn't all find work. I was the only one with a healthy shell, so I joined a group of settlers and left for Windy Meadow, though it had no name back then. Have you ever got in touch with your cousins? What happened to your cousins after that? Have you ever got in touch with them? Merchants wrote messages for us on wax tablets from time to time. Sadly, my family never escaped poverty. The wounds they gained before we reached the city were like a chain. Their children managed to get out of there, looked for adventure, and took on dangerous jobs. The cauldron we use is a gift from them. Do you think about your first tribe often? No. Can't recall their faces or names, just a few glimpses. My father's laughter and the scent of the blooming pond. But they were decent folks. Faced their struggles together, helped their poor. As a child, I was happy, when not hungry. You used to be a fisher?
Just one of many things I tried as a girl. Was meant to be a forager and a keeper of the forest garden. That's what convinced the settlers to take me with them. But for the first few years I did whatever they asked me to. We spent years living in small cabins, struggling to stay afloat. But there were some good days too.
Hello, Story Dragon! Who taught you how to use herbs?
Healers from the other villages. I knew this and that already, but after a few of us died from simple fevers, the others agreed to pay the tribes for their knowledge. We then returned the favour. That's why you had a roommate for one summer.
Yeah, one very long summer. I also would not cope with that.
So, there were times when you didn't shun meeting new friends.
Since when are you so chatty?
Even when I was 10, you had visitors from other villages, herbalists, mages. Now there are 1 or 2 messengers a year.
Calmly says, when I heard tried as a girl, I'm so trans, I thought, oh, they're a man or non-binary now? That's neat.
I'm old and tired, and so are the people with whom I used to share knowledge, dead, sick, or just caring about other things. As my thoughts and dreams get slower with the years, I find comfort spending time in my head or counting the breaths of our forest. Friends leave us sooner or later, but feeling lonely on some days ain't the worst thing in the world. But what's behind this loneliness? You know the answer.
Do I? You don't make me guess.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking. You can figure it out, dear.
Can I?
Well, for years now you've been insisting I should get married. As if it's something you missed on your own path. Is that a don't want you to repeat my mistakes I'm hearing? Mistake may be the wrong word. I could have married a terrible soul, or a kind one that would have died young.
Right. Can't be sure your life would have improved at all.
Yet you shouldn't plan each step you take based on the dream outcome. Too much chaos, too many tragedies. I've seen many of them, yet my life has been peaceful for the most part. I regret avoiding responsibilities, waiting for an accident to bring me my children, then having no one by my side as they went away in a pyre. Getting old, thinking that maybe one day I'd have a change of heart. Rejecting friendships, wanted to make sure I wouldn't lose my touch as a herbalist, and my heart would break if I were to see yet another village lost to a disaster. I'd rather be tribeless. I said these very words. I won't say that I've wasted these years or that I've no peace in me. I would just prefer if things had ended up differently. I don't love Ivolo. I never felt love. I sometimes crave intimacy, but I don't think I'd feel good having it with only my betrothed. I care about you and Firma, but don't dream about having someone to hug us as I wake up, or planning my future with them, or making sacrifices for them, or growing old looking in their eyes. I just don't know. I've tried to give it a shot, tried to understand what others want. It doesn't look like I'm like them. You may not fall in love easily, but you can get attached to someone. Build a new routine with them.
Well, does she have to? Though? Just because you wish you'd married?
What then? Get married? Hope I'd fall in love with my spouse in 5-10 years? Don't have to love your spouse to build a happy life with them. Why did you agree to marry him?
I don't know. I am confused. I like Ivolo. She does seem to really like Ivolo.
He's patient, polite, generous, knows what he wants. A good friend to Victus, a bit pushy, but I'm also a bit stubborn. He's a kind soul, aye. Feels as if I'm about to buy a sheep. That's how you sound. Have you decided where you'd live if you were to go through with the wedding? His place. It's nice. Very clean. I wouldn't expect him to be the one running around with a broom and a dustcloth. Pays others to do that for him. His parents should have done a better job teaching him to pick up his toys. But I already know what's going to happen. He'll get bored with me. I'll get sick of him. What then? The good thing is you're both busy. You two will be a pleasant distraction for each other, not the root of your lives.
The bird is back! Everyone, the bird is back! Oh! Yay! I love this bird.
It would be nice to have someone to talk to in the evenings. Especially after I'm gone. You keep saying that, but you're the healthiest old lady I've ever seen. A herbalist is never just an old folk. I've got a few more tricks to teach you. What a mysterious witch you are. Blech. I'm brewing herbs, not dabbling in curses. As if anyone can tell the difference. I could eat something. How about cookies? How about actual food? Go ahead and make some yourself. Don't talk to me like that, young lady.
Story Dragon says, what's with that bird? There's just a huge bird that was wandering by and it just makes me happy. I don't know what to say. There's just a huge bird. Oh, everything's on fire. Good news, everyone. Terrible things have happened.
What's going on?
Wake up! Got to leave!
Is it morning already?
Fire! The forest's on fire!
Is it here?
Almost. Put on your robe. Latro's waiting.
But the bombs!
I'll grab what I can. Get dressed.
I'll let the food burn and we'll have time to pick spring herbs in the wildwoods. Let's take the summer and autumn plants. Got used to our cauldron. It's used up, but it's always been there. What matters is we'll be safe. Salvia used to have nothing. We can start anew. All these balms, potions, powders, gone. Could carry a few essential jars, maybe some wound and fever remedies. As a kid, I used to open these just to smell the ground herbs, until they got moldy.
Rowan says cauldron's probably not going to burn. Yeah, it's true. It'll probably still be there.
I'm still ashamed of it. It helped me memorize them better. At least I didn't try eating them. It helped me memorize them better. If Volo could teach me how to read, now that I think about it. Could use some labels instead of keeping the jars all cryptic. Never cared much about clothes, and neither did Salvia. I'll borrow something from Therma. We're so similar, she and I. Yet she's so close with our parents. I hope she feels good with me. Trying to support her, though she doesn't need me to.
That's a terrifying doll. Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
My treasures. I've mislaid each toy my parents brought here, but kept everything Salvia made for me. I know every creak in this floor, every wood grain above my bed.
Bring your doll! Bring your doll!
Honeycomb, my darling. Good to see you, boy, but what happened? How's the village?
It's Latro, Bena's dad.
Safe for now. It's all my fault. Are you hurt?
Better to head out. A rat is waiting for us not far from here.
We may face some desperate beasts, so take your weapons. Maybe a sleeping powder or a burning elixir? I'd rather take a few more jars of medicine, but so be it. Thank you. Forgive me. I thank the right for your warning, Latro.
Wait until you hear the entire story.
Is Lana with you? The mum? Oh. We should go. Now. The bridge is cut off by flames. They'll reach the sheepfold soon. We could set the sheep free, but they won't survive in the woods on their own.
I'm afraid you're right.
Me and my daughters will look for them. Let's open the gates. They can They'll trample you. Stay out of the flock's way. Let's regroup by the large rock. We can call for our neighbours from there. What about the Saurians? They're too busy fleeing from the smoke, I bet. Well, there they are, though I don't see Lana. Start with Salvia, Latro, and Hirata. They need to speak with the mayor as soon as possible. If anything happens, go up the river. I'll be looking for you.
I don't think Yudusha should marry Evolo unless she wants to marry Evolo. Like, I guess there are worse things than her if she wants to marry him but doesn't think it will last. Like, that could happen. But doesn't really seem like that's actually how she feels.
Are you all right? I think I need a hug. Aw.
She hugged her fiancé. Day 4. Rowan says it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. It's no wonder she's confused.
60 years of memory gone like a dry cloth. And what are you staring at? No goblins behind our backs. They won't be able to sneak up on us in this wasteland unless the mole rats get to us from below. I'll keep you safe. Just don't stain your perfect attire in a fierce battle trance. You could at least bring a sword instead of a knife. I didn't know you were a fencer. Who taught you how to fight? A true mistress of swords and words, hired by my parents. Her lessons were painful, but enlightening. All 2 of them. Okay, so he can't fence. She then mentioned I'm a lost cause and declined to waste her time on me. But as long as I can help you get back to the boat, my pride won't suffer. And thank you, Salvia. I like my robe a lot, but I ordered much lighter clothes for the wedding, for both of us. Perfect for the warm, late spring. You city folk are more vain and peafowl. I wish you could see some of our costume balls. They're atrocious. Would pay the entrance fee to watch Salvia dance. There's no fee. You need to be invited. Even better. Found it! Is it the cauldron? Unscathed. Threat dismissed. Oh no, it's a chest. A smile from the spirits. You said these herbs are rather common. But essential for Preddy and Mira, Perega and others. All their lingering problems. Means we've got enough time to get in touch with other tribes and ask them for supplies. Congratulations then. We're in need of good news. But we're done here. All that's left is to ask some strong folk to search the rubble for iron scraps. The travels that await us are going to be a pain. Not something my shell could endure. No neighbour of ours has a horse, right? Not really. I'll hire a messenger for you at the roadside inn in the north. He's already done some tasks for me. And, of course, I'll be happy to cover the essential purchases from the neighbouring villages. Yet the cost of all this. I want to be a part of our village, including its troubles. Yes, my next year or 2 will be a bit lean, but my business in the city is doing better than ever. Mostly because I'm not the one pulling the strings. I'll be fine. Thank you. Though don't expect to get even more gratitude from me. Ever since you offered me that spare room, you've got all the thanks I can offer. I don't mind. We'll be a family soon. What if I wasn't gonna move in with you? Huh? Do you plan to stay with someone till the wedding? Quite a pious gesture from you. Not sure there will be a wedding. Okay, she doesn't want to marry him. You said you'd thought this through already. If I were to go my own way, would you throw Salvia out? Wait. I'm sorry, I just have my doubts. Forgive me, I should have said something sooner. I didn't want to hurt you with my doubts. Ivolo didn't invite me for your sake. We've made a deal, he and I. What do you mean? I won't wait 20 years for another hut and another forest. Every season may be my last. Don't have the strength nor the patience to wait for things to go back to the way they were. Avolo has offered me a room for years to come. What does he get in return? He'll write a book for me, make sure my knowledge of herbs and forest gardens won't be forgotten. It may reach the city and all the tribes of our province. I'd rather pay a monk to turn our notes into a decent manuscript, but yeah. These tales will be worth a fortune, and I could hire a scribe to make 5-10 more copies of it over the next few years. Send it to other cities for a good price. Just imagine. My memories would enter monasteries, show people what you, I, and my masters have discovered. Then all the scholars and herbalists would compare it with their own notes, seeking a better truth. I'm happy for you. That's great news. I'm happy for you. Was hoping to tell you about this once we could see a bit of peace, but I'm glad you're on my side. Do you really think I could hurt and humiliate an elder just to punish you for rejecting me? I mean, since there are no goblins in sight, I'll make sure the boat is still, what's the word, moored, I guess? But join me once you're ready to head back. Oof. Oof. But I need your final decision, Yadusha. Today. If I were to send someone to the inn tomorrow morning, I could still contact my family and guests and return the wares and supplies I ordered for the wedding. There's nothing wrong with having doubts, but I want to trust you, and I deserve your honesty. I love you. Oh, yeah. He seems really nice. That's completely true. Want to compete in feeling sorry for oneself? You start. I'm gonna lose most of what we own to my father's debts. I mean, I lost my house. Yeah, weak start. Point to you. But I do feel sorry for what happened. To you and Salvia. Thank you, it's been difficult. Thanks, it's pretty rough. What's been the worst part? Learning everything anew. No morning tasks, strange bed, different air, more folk around me, no more strolls. Is having a fresh start so bad? To me, nightmarish. Is it true plants grow well in ash? Depends. Not all flowers and shrubs, but most trees like it, especially evergreens. Which ones are those? Those with needles and cones. Right. Well, next round I'm on the verge of breaking my betrothed's heart. Oh no, want to talk about it? Maybe once the dust settles. Still, can't relate. Just yesterday I agreed to marry Stabs. Even though he has a ridiculous name. You did? Yeah. He's the warmest soul I know. Never gets pushy, never uses tears to control me. But you do work for him. Not for much longer. My carpenter dream, you know. I'm chasing after it. No way, really? Your eyes are pretty well rested for someone going through so many changes. Going through? I'm jumping forward like an acrobat. But I'm hopeful. You should lose a point for that. I'm still at 0, remember? You love him? Sure. How do you know? For me, it's easy. I miss him when I'm away. Enjoy the time we spend together, even more so after work. Trust him. Want to have kids with him. I love the way he touches me, too. You always sound like you've got it all figured out. Folks say the same thing about you, though I guess they ain't so polite about it. I speak only on things I understand, unlike many around here. It was different for me. I had to get strong to stand with my siblings, and Dad, too. By the way, it's my turn again, and my big sis is a lazy idiot. Don't have older siblings, but let's say I'll give you a point there. Firma's great. No arguments to hit there. It's 2-1 now. Yep, the gap's closing. Guess I won't win by bringing up Victus, but I do miss him. It'd be a point for both of us. You're closer to him than I am, sister or not. You don't spend much time with your family in general.
Look who's talking. I chat with my real family all the time. Firma, Salvia. If that's how you see it. I do. Just saying. But you can't run away from them forever. Yes. Changes everywhere. Can't keep up. But ain't it a bit exciting? No. I'm gonna try to get to the end of Yudusha's story today, and then there's one left for the next stream. Still not sleepy? Could set up a wooden screen around your bed, reduce the light. I'm better than usual. It's exciting to see all these people talking and bustling around, even if the day is so grim. This is Vina's mum, I think. Can I be honest with you? Not the best moment, many ears around us. That's fine. I'm just trying to start a conversation. Then let me keep grinding these herbs. Thought you wanted to share a dark secret with me. When you were little, I used to think you were mocking me, paying such close attention to my words. You did much more than thinking. You made sure Victus wouldn't talk to me before I came to you with Salvia, and apologized for disrespecting you. Ooh, that's right. I almost forgot about it. I didn't. I bet, but I don't forget such things. Wanted to tell me something? You see, it's been so long since I've left my house. Once my neighbours brought me outside, I couldn't believe how lovely Windy Meadow is. The sun is still bright. The wind is both chilling and gentle. My shell gets weaker, but the trees and birds carry on. I know my legs won't ever let me enter the woods again. It may happen. You can now turn on your side and sit up, though with help. It may keep healing. I envy your hope. Well, but I hate living like this. Maybe speak about it with Vates. I ain't that good at soothing one's soul. I've already had time to think. More days than I can bear. I want to start leaving my bed again. Like, on a cart? Or a wagon? Even a wheelbarrow if it's what it takes. I need to touch the living bark again. Or just spend an hour by the well chatting with others. Observe the playing children. Listen to a story or two. I've heard Fable's getting good at them. That may harm you in the long run. That may work against you. You barely survived the trip to the healers in Veritas. I'd rather have 2 good seasons to look forward to than dozens of unbearable ones. I'm withering. Your family needs you? Have you discussed it with your husband? Got children and Inmira? They're waiting for you. We've all waited enough. They're doing everything they can to look after me. I do see that. But they're not just waiting for me. Our bond is choking them. It hurts me to see what's happening to them. There's nothing to see out there? I don't think that's very good. We've done everything we could. Sure, throw away our efforts to help you if you want. Believe me, I'm grateful for everything you've done for me. Tell that to Salvia. Though I guess you decided to speak with me because you know she would beat this idea out of your head. No, it's you I want to thank. I know you've done everything you could. Yudi, can we talk for a moment? Oh no, is this her parents? We can. You look good, Preddy. Your furniture and supplies are in the warehouse, and Latro took the girls to look for the sheep. Yes, I'm aware. Thanks, Rel. Rel. That always sounds so silly to me, like I'm a young girl again. We really wanted to come sooner, but so much is going on right now. The cake you brought us was delicious. You need to share your yeast with Lita. I'll ask Firma to bring you the jar, but maybe after we get through this chaos. According to what she told us, the goblins may come by any day now. What do you want? Are you sick? No, Yudi, not at all. Eudicia. Don't call me that. Eudicia,
We're sorry. Salvia deserved peaceful years in her lovely hut. Her hut was my home. We want to help, see? Our house is always open to you. Both of you. We'll go through the hard times as a family. Look at them with like their glowing eyes. The invitation is like a punch in your face, but after a few breaths, you push your anger deeper inside, regaining your control. For so many days, you've done your best to control your impulses. You're strong enough to see the souls in front of you more as lost elders than beasts. No, thank you. Thank you, but it's too much. Must refuse. But I... Understood. Another time? Just let us know. Oof. Yudusha has kept her anger at bay. Alright, the last chapter is Windy Meadow. And I assume it's a full chapter, so we're gonna call it there, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This has ended on such a dark note. But I think I enjoyed that story the most of all the stories, honestly. Which I guess makes sense. Calmly says, achievement unlocked, repressed anger. I mean, sometimes it's more important to keep it in than to let it out. And it sounds like Yudusha had a history of not holding it in. Rowan says, oh gosh, we don't even know if Yudi is getting married or not. I think she isn't. She doesn't sound like she is. Everyone, yeah, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to play more on Friday, and that'll probably be finishing this game, and then we'll be on to a new game. I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I wish you a lovely rest of the week, and hopefully I'll see some of you again soon. Goodbye, everyone.